This week's tip, we're going to look at the role of the legs during the swing. We've got some questions on that in the forum, and we want to address that here. We believe that the legs should be supporting rather than active. The swing has changed over the last 20, 30 years, and that back in the 70s, there was a lot of active leg drive on the downswing. The knees and the legs would shoot towards the target. That would hang the upper body back and create a higher finish. This is something we don't really recommend for many different reasons, mostly because it's hard on the body. Instead, what we want the legs to do is be wide and bouncy and create a good platform to work from. Here's a couple keys for that. First, at setup, we don't want to see either knee kicked in. We want to see the knees out wide, pointing in the direction of the toes. You can see the toes are also not too perpendicular. They're also pointing out a little bit. Now, depending on your flexibility, you may be able to get those toes a little straighter, but for most people, flaring them out slightly is a good idea. So the toes are out a little, the knees are flexed, and they're out. And instead of a tight feel with a knee kick in, we're getting a nice bouncy athletic feel. Going back, we'd love for you to retain some, if not all, of the right knee flex you have. As you're less flexible, like myself, it's not as easy to keep that knee flex. We see the knees straightening a little bit. But we don't want to see the knees active, moving across. We don't want the heel coming up. We want the legs to be feeling wide and bouncy as you approach the top of the swing. The same thing is true on the downswing. We don't want the legs to drive too hard towards the target. We want to see them stay right underneath the hips as you rotate into impact and through to the finish. So don't let those legs move out from underneath you. As your legs move, your upper body has to compensate to keep you balanced. Instead, we're looking for nice, quiet legs in setup and quiet legs during the swing. Remember, you can use that DSR to draw lines on the outside of your right leg at address, the outside of the left leg at address, to see how much movement you have. The line on the outside of the right leg should have some space between it and the leg at the top of the swing. The one on the outside of the left leg should be covered up at impact as the weight moves towards the target. Use that DSR to judge that weight movement and how much activity you're getting out of the legs, and you'll find you'll get the ball much more solidly at impact.